Yo guys, what's up? I'm HSpadesth, and today we're gonna learn how to make a basic Mugen character. It's nothing very complicated. It's nothing very out of sorts or advanced. It's very simple as long as you follow these steps. Today, you will need a program called Fighter Factory. What is Fighter Factory? For those who don't know, Fighter Factory is the main program that you will be using in making a Mugen character. The secondary program that you'll need is any paint program that utilizes the file format of saving in a bitmap. I'll get to the reason why you need bitmap later on as we go about this tutorial. In order for you guys to get Fighter Factory, you'll have to go to the Mugen archives, which is basically a library to get everything you want in it. But instead, I decided to be the easier guy and give you guys everything in the link description below. A lot of people won't probably do that, but I feel like this would be a faster way for you guys to get the programs and be able to already have them in your hands, so that way you don't have to go searching for them. Another thing we need to talk about is that when you're doing all this, there is a certain method to doing Mugen characters that is going to be very long and very enduring, and I hope you guys are willing to stay for it. Before we get into the whole Fighter Factory case, make sure you guys download the classic Fighter Factory first before thinking about downloading the other Fighter Factories. I'm not really aware of those yet. I haven't used them really. I started using Fighter Factory 3. I need more time to sit down and actually learn the program and be able to become more familiarized with it. So for right now, we're going to go with Fighter Factory Classic. So get that downloaded and let's begin this whole thing. Before we get into actually working with Fighter Factory, as you can see, it's nothing but really a blank kind of thing. Little gray box area, empty stuff, little icons and whatnot. We'll get into those later. But first and foremost, let's talk about what we need to do in order to get something inside of Fighter Factory. We need a sprite sheet. For those who don't think they can handle a long sprite sheet like something out of Street Fighter, Multi Blood, King of Fighters, etc., etc., start off with a Sonic sprite sheet or use your own fan character sprite sheet. It's easier. It'll help you, and you already got a solid idea for them. So, once you do that, every sprite that is on that sheet needs to be saved as a bitmap, single, by itself. Every frame of like all this stuff, and make sure you categorize it and name it so you don't lose it, because we're gonna need it. As you can see in this folder, every sprite has a different name. Yes, every sprite has a name that is categorized and is for a certain thing for what I'm gonna add inside of Fighter Factory. Why do I have to do it like this? Because Mugen does not accept sprite sheets inside Fighter Factory. You have to literally break it all down as if like this is kind of like animating to a certain degree. You're breaking it all down into frames. Once you've done that, because it's going to take you a while to do it, so once you've done all that, unpause the video and we'll move on to the next step. As we go about Fighter Factory, there will be certain places you will have to go to get some things done. But before we do all that, make sure you have downloaded Mugen as well. That's in the link in the description below. Go to your options. When Mugen executable, you want to make sure you have your WinMugen. I put everything that's Mugen related that I do in my documents folder because that's something I just keep there for myself. I should have made a game folder, but it'll be for a later day another time. So make sure you find your Mugen and make sure it stays there too, because if you leave it, if you take it out that folder and put it somewhere else, you have to change where you can find that Mugen as well. Otherwise, Mugen won't be able to find it. Fighter Factory won't be able to find that Mugen program nowhere. Now that we hear sprites, when their sprites are going to be imported and whatnot, animations where you do the animations of the attacks, how fast you want them, how slow you want them, hitboxes, collisions. Also, this is also for effects as well. So you want to make sure you take the time to make your effects if you're going to make them. I'll explain how to do that as well later on, so don't worry about that. Constants is basically your coding. We're going to use a template because trying to do it from scratch is very difficult. So we're going to use a template in a few, and basically this will be all easy for us. Commands is basically inputting commands, how to make your own commands and such. Very very simple stuff. Very unique as well. This is also where you can use AI coding as well, but I'll save that for later because that's difficult. You know, that's like a 50-50 kind of thing. Sounds, you import your sounds and stuff here. This is your organizer. You can organize everything. Probably one of the greatest things to have on this program. You know, notepad, little notes in case you want people to read about your character and everything. Or give little side notes to like people if you're making a work in progress music character, whatnot. Throw creators. Well, I don't even know what that is actually, to be honest. I've never actually tried that. Probably because I don't need it. Palette edits is basically colors, you know, for your music character and whatnot. We're actually going to get into that in a few as well. Create backup files. Usually backup files are usually lock files and whatnot for Mugen. Save all your progress, you know, opening Mugen character, closes your whole Mugen character entirely. Alright? So let's go back to this icon, that's the definitions. And let's go to file. Let's go to template and choose elect byte player. This is kind of like basically Kung Fu Man's coding. Very simple, very easy to use, you know, etc., etc. So, elect byte player, and this should appear. All right, you get a color palette, white screen, everything, whatnot. See, look at this, and this is all empty, right? All right. So now let's begin. Character's name. The character's name is basically the character name of the folder that Mugen has to read as well when you put it inside of the Mugen documents and file data as well. So character name is, for me, Hiromi. Whatever the character name is for you, you put that name. Character name in the game is the character's name that's going to be shown in the game. I'm going to use the same name again, Hiromi. Be careful with names as well, because character name and character name in the game are two different things. Sometimes Mugen won't read character name, they'll read character name in the game, and then other times it's vice versa. It's very weird. Also, make sure your character's name is not the same name as any other Mugen character you may have in your Mugen game, because it'll read one of them as a duplication. Excuse me, I don't want to use short-term words or abbreviations. It'll read as a duplication, and you won't be able to use it. So be careful with names. Very, 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 very sensitive with names. Data creation. It's April Fool's Day, so why not? I should have started this at 420, but whatever. Alright, you can use whatever date you want, lie about it, whatnot. Mugen version, I use 2003. Easy name. Easy thing to do, whatever's. Arthur name, it's my name because I made this character. If you didn't make the sprites of the character, but you're making the character, the person who made the sprites, their name has to go in it as well. Standard palette order, 1, 2. Make sure you use the commas, not periods. Comma 3, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6. Palette order is up to 12 colors. You can only have 12 colors, so you have to be very careful. Sprite file format, which is SFF. Hiromi.sff. SND file. I'm gonna just tell you right now, everybody, all these file names and such is the character's name, but at the end of it, it's gonna be different. So if I'm writing for the sprite file format, which is the SFF, Hiromi.sff, Hiromi.snd, that's the sound. The animation file, Hiromi.air, you know, CMD, Hiromi. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Excuse me. .cmd. You don't have to capital the file, like name the file format. You can leave lowercase. Constants, Hiromi.cns. States, Hiromi.cns. Let me capitalize that H. Alright. Don't touch the commons file because that's going to stay the same. You don't want to mess with that. You'll damage the file or whatever. Now this is your definitions file. Your definitions file is completed. You're done. That's the definitions right there. This is the easiest thing to do. Don't ever forget this. This is the simple thing. This is like learning how to trace bitmap and actually being able to do it. You know, Once you learn it and you've done it, you will never forget this. This is literally the first step. So save all because you want to. All right. Don't save in the Let By Player folder. They lock that. You can't get back into that. So go to your wherever your Mugen's folder is at. Right. I got a folder right here ready for Hiromi. Make a folder. Yes, you have to make a folder. Everything that you do in Mugen in terms of making a character or stages needs a folder. You cannot just make a file and leave it out there in the open. It needs the folder. So this right here, Hiromi, sprite file format, name is going to be the same, Hiromi. Choose one of the save formats. Share palette, individual palette. Individual palette because you'll have more colors. Share palette will give you, will only just, it's the name, share palette. One palette every sprite is going to use. That's it. Most people say that you use individual palette if you want multiple colors for your character, which is true. Do not use share palette unless you're going to just keep it for that one character. All right? Press OK. And once it's going to keep popping up these names, the saves, it's saving everything. That's all they're doing. So just name it as the character's name. Hiromi. It could be Hiromi. Whatever your character name is, you know, it could be Lily, whatever, Lily, Mark, whatever, you know. Just name it like it is. It'll be easier. Poof. Done. So that's all we're going to do for right here, right now. I don't want to give you guys too much to cram in your head. It's just something light. Practice it, memorize it, and in the next part, we'll get into importing sprites and dealing with the color palettes, because that's going to be the tricky part for right now. But if you have any questions about what you just learned today, feel free to write them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Go on, everybody. Peace out.